This month, we want to introduce you to all the candidates running in the July 31st primary races. Joining me to talk about his campaign for Bibb County Sheriff is candidate Bill Lucas. Mr. Lucas, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, tell me, what do you think is Bibb County's most important law enforcement issue that needs to be addressed?
Well, I think our gangs are really moving too much in our city. Illegal guns are out there with them, and it's harming our citizens.
As we saw today, tragically in Colorado with the gunman who opened fire at the movie theater, those situations are hard to prevent. Now, if you're elected sheriff, what will you do to kind of combat the gang problem and the teen violence that's happening around here?
Well, we want to put together a gang task force, a red dog team, if you will, to go out and attack the gangs first, getting them off the streets, getting their weapons before they get a chance to use them. Even to the very small, minute things of getting them to pull their pants up so that, in fact, we can look for guns. It gives us a little bit of a probable cause in order to see if they have them and get those individuals off the street.
So it's almost, you kind of have to change the culture and the attitudes around there to combat this gang problem and youth violence.
You got the key words. We have to change the culture. And until we change the culture, we won't be able to reduce crime. Crime will be reduced in this town under my administration, and we'll reduce the cost of running the jail. We're going to work hard and very strong on making sure that we get rid of those criminals who are on our streets.
Now, another big issue, obviously, in this election is consolidation. Mm-hmm. If consolidation passes and you become the chief law enforcement officer, how will you make the Macon Police Department and police officers who are coming into the Sheriff's Department, how will you make sure that transition is as smooth and as painless as possible? Well,
it will be smooth and painless. I've been through this basically before. I work for an agency that my budget was $900 million. The city of Macon's, the county's budget is $30 million, and the city is about 17, so you're talking about $17 million. Mm-hmm. They have about 1,000 employees. I'm sorry, about 400 employees in one and 300 in the other. So that's about 700. I had 14,000 employees. Mm-hmm. And they have 1,000 inmates, and I had 50,000. I went down to Jacksonville to talk to the first Afro-American sheriff in Jacksonville, Florida. And he told me the challenges that you have. And I was doing my due diligence to make sure that we won't run into those same challenges when it happens here.
All right. Well, Bill Lucas, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's another candidate, David Lucas.
They make sure it's Bill.
I'm sorry about that. Bill Lucas, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you so very much for having me.
Coming on our show. And next Friday on the news at 6, one of Bill Lucas's opponents, Albert Hall, will join us to talk about his campaign. You can get the most clear, accurate, and to-the-point political coverage ahead of the July 31st election right here on 41 NBC.